Hey, this is Rocket Brain Surgeon. Today we are looking at the Conqueror, following around Onichan on Arctic region. The Conq is a Tier 9 UK heavy tank, and it plays more like a medium-heavy hybrid than a straight heavy. The armor on the hull is just not very good. In particular, the side armor is so thin you're going to run into overmatching problems against some of the Tier 9 or Tier 10 guns. The turret armor, again, not great. Can be penned in the cheeks, can be penned on the cupola up top. Not great. The gun is really what makes the tank, sporting 400 damage and very low effective aim time, very good accuracy, very good damage per minute for a heavy, is where you're going to make the money on this tank, is just shooting as much as possible. That's actually all I'm going to say regarding the actual review portion of the Conq. I consider it to be basically just a vanilla tank with relatively few skills that make it a standout. Now, the question becomes, can you be a good tank without having something like a standout? For example, the reverse angling ability of the E75, or just the overall hardness of the STI, or the autoloader of the 5120, or the mobility of the Wheezy 1.4 and the IS-8. A lot of getting better is simply dealing more damage than you take, or even dealing free damage where you get in a shot and they don't even get to return fire. The Conqueror's way of dealing damage without taking in damage in return is to have that low effective aim time. He's only exposed for just a brief second. He gets fires and the gun is going to be accurate enough to be able to hit its target very consistently before they can even turn their turret, and he's already back behind cover. I think we can all agree if the enemy can't see you, they're going to have huge problems shooting you, so only taking like a second to aim and fire, and then already backing behind cover, that's going to be very valuable. The question is how valuable that is going to be over something like an autoloader, over something like a high alpha tank that doesn't have to expose itself very often in the first place. But the real question is a very low effective aim time and some mobility enough to make the tank on its own with very little else. And the community consensus seems to be a little bit confusing. A lot of the Russian tanks are great for this type of comparison. For example, the Russian mediums are considered superior to their Chinese counterparts because of a much lower effective aim time. However, the Russian heavies, which have been considered some of the best since the dawn of the game, have terrible effective aim times, so much so that people just don't aim at all and snapshot everything. So apparently effective aim time, who cares? If all it takes is low effective aim time and mobility on a tank, why doesn't the Leopard 1 get any love? I guess what I'm trying to say is that there doesn't seem to be a lot of rhyme or reason on why or how a tank is evaluated better than over another one, but the big takeaway is I'm not sure that a low effective aim time is the answer. I think all else being equal, you would prefer a lower effective aim time to a higher one, but it does not make the tank on its own. There are just too many examples where the low effective aim time mobile tank is just left behind for more specialized options. In that way, I think the Conq, while a very comfortable ride, and it definitely has some upside if you have some situational awareness, probably isn't the best in tier. Hope you enjoyed. Happy hunting.